Tenemos con nosotros a Aaron Drain, es el guionista de Fear Clinic, tanto de la serie de televisión como de la webserie, como de la película. Y vamos a hacer una pequeña entrevista y luego, si queréis, podéis preguntarle todo lo que queráis, ¿no? Entonces, I was talking in Spanish for Dave, and then she translates for you, okay?
No worries, no worries.
Sí, no hay problema. Bueno, la primera pregunta es, ¿cómo nace Fear Clinic?
How Fear Clinic has born?
Okay, well, about 6 years ago, no, 7 years ago, I was driving, I also teach college, so I was on the way to teach my class. And on the radio, the news had said that terrorism, was turning the American public into a nation of phobics, And so immediately I started thinking, well, we need a clinic to cure the nation, our nation, of phobics, of terror. So that's how Fear Clinic was born.
Dice que hace unos 7 años estaba conduciendo porque da clases en un instituto y de camino a las clases pues escuchó en la radio que el terrorismo estaba haciendo que el público, que los habitantes de América se convirtiesen en fóbicos, estaba despertando fobias en la población americana y pensó, bueno, pues necesitamos una clínica para curarles y así es como nació Fear Clinic.
Bueno, el reparto de la serie y de la película es realmente impresionante. Tenemos por un lado a Robert Englund, a Corey Feldman, tenemos a Fiona Dourif.
Also the web series. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. ¿Cómo juntasteis ese reparto?
How could you put together all these people for the film, the cast, and for the web series actually?
Okay, well, the cast we all worked together on. The director of the web series was also the director, Robert Hall of the movie. My producing partner, Mark Johnson, he brought Robert Englund because he produced one of Robert Englund's other films. He produced Killer Pad that Robert Englund had directed. Robert Hall knew Kane Hodder, Jason.
Yeah.
And also my ex-wife, yeah, she knew Danielle Harris. So that's how Fear Clinic was born. Okay. And of course, Robert Hall and I were good friends. So we all worked together.
Dice que la gente que trabaja, el equipo de la webserie y de la película es prácticamente el mismo, que uno de los productores, Mark Jason, el producer, fue el que consiguió a Robert Englund porque trabajó con él, produjo una película que dirigió, Killer Pad, I guess, y que asimismo también su exmujer conocía a Danielle Hurst, que trabaja también con ellos en la serie y en la peli, y así pues, se fueron juntando unos con otros.
Bien. Y ya está. Y acerca de contar con un miembro de Slipknot en la película.
What about Slipknot guy in the film?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Corey Taylor, Slipknot frontman, Stone Sour. Robert Hall and I were looking to replace Kane Hodder because Kane Hodder, his manager, wanted too much money to be in the movie. Kane said he would be in the movie, no problem, but his manager said no, whatever reason. So we were looking for somebody else to replace him in the role. And Robert Hall knew the lead singer of Metallica, the band Metallica, and he couldn't do it. So he says his good friend Corey Taylor would like to do it. So none of us knew. That's how, so a friend of, was lead singer of Metallica. I forget that guy's name. Metallica.
James Hetfield.
Yeah. So he was going to be in it first. And then he says he couldn't do it. So then he said, my good friend Corey Taylor.
Pues, a ver. Corey Taylor, uno de los miembros de Slipknot, llegó a la peli porque Robert Hall, el director, conocía. What's the name of the first guy you wanted to hire, but then you couldn't because of his manager?
Kane Hodder.
Kane.
Yeah.
Kane Hodder.
Yeah, he was Jason. Played Jason in the web series. I mean, he played the hockey mask guy in Friday the 13th, but he wasn't available.
Jason, vale. Querían a este chico, pero this one was the one that you couldn't hire because of his manager.
Yeah. And Kane and I are really good friends.
Okay.
Yeah, and Kane said to me he would do it for me, and then manager said no.
Pues este chico es buen amigo suyo, pero el manager no accedió a que apareciese en la película. Entonces, bueno, Robert Hall, el director, conocía al cantante de Metallica que dijo que no podía en esas fechas, pero les dijo, seguro que un amigo mío estaría encantado de hacerlo, y este amigo es Corey Taylor. Y así llegó el cantante de Slipknot a la película.
If I might add, none of us knew what Corey looked like because he always wore masks in Slipknot, the band. Nobody knew him. And so he was standing, we're going, my producer friend, Mark, we're like, where is he? We're on set, he's supposed to be here. Nobody, and he taps me on the shoulder, goes, I'm right here. He was like right behind me. I didn't know who he was. I thought he was part of the crew.
Su compañero de producción, Mark Jason, estaba buscando a Corey Taylor porque, claro, nadie sabía qué cara tenía porque llevan siempre las máscaras, y estaba justo detrás suyo. There he is.
Yeah. And also we made him grow this mustache. He hated that mustache, hated it.
Le hicieron llevar bigote, hicieron que se dejara un bigote y él lo odiaba.
Yeah, because it makes him look like rapey,
Like a what?
Like a lech. Makes him look like a raper.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Le hacía parecer un violador, según él.
Bueno, la película, que sepáis que también tiene banda sonora de Slipknot. Y bueno, ¿cómo es trabajar con Robert Englund?
How is like to work with Robert Englund?
Robert's the best. Yeah, Robert's
mejor.
amazing. He read the script for the web series, and immediately, not immediately, 2 days, calls me up at my house, my phone, and says, Aaron, I want to do this. And I said, Robert, that's, thank you, but I don't know if we can afford you. I don't know, it's expensive, Robert, because he's Robert Englund, and he goes, don't worry, I will do your web series for like $2,000. He says, because I couldn't get it made, I could pay him what he's worth. For the web series, the web series is very big budget, but we didn't have all that money, for FearNet. And he goes, as long I do this for you, as long as you promise to pay me for the movie, which we did, So yeah, that's how. Hey, Robert Englund is somebody who stands behind you, He's somebody who is there to champion your project and you. He's one of the best people I've ever worked with. The best person, actually, I've ever worked with.
Dice que, bueno, que Robert es genial, que leyó el guión para la serie de televisión y que le llamó directamente un par de días después y que le dijo, me gusta, quiero hacerlo. Y bueno, Aaron dijo, gracias, pero es que no sé si vamos a poder pagarte. Y él dijo, no te preocupes, $2,000.
Sí. Yeah.
Por $2,000 lo hago en tanto en cuanto me asegures que me pagas la película. Y así ha sido. Y bueno, dice que Robert es una persona que siempre está ahí para apoyarte y que es una de las mejores personas con las que ha trabajado y que conoce.
It was a brand new horror franchise, brand new. And in the movie, Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger plays Black. Yeah, and he wanted to do it. The web series, I don't know if they've seen the web series, but Black is not in the web series. Black is only in the movie. But I told him about Black, and he really wanted to do it. When I first met Robert, I was a little nervous because I had to keep calling him to talk script, and I get all sweaty because I thought I had to call Freddy Krueger. It made me really nervous, to talk to him on the phone. He made me very nervous, but after about a week or two, it was okay. Yeah.
Dice que Robert played Black on the film. In the film, but it is not a character that is in the TV, in the web series.
But yeah, it's in the movie. Yeah.
Robert Englund hace el papel de Black en la película, pero que ese personaje no está en la web serie. Y bueno, dice que la primera vez que le iba a conocer, que le tenía que llamar, pues que estaba nervioso, que se puso a sudar porque tenía que hablar por teléfono con Freddy Krueger, pero que bueno, que después de un par de semanas la cosa mejoró.
Es curioso porque me ha chivado un pajarito de que va a haber segunda parte.
Someone has told him that it's going to be a second part.
Yeah, working on it right now. Yeah.
Es que sí, que están trabajando ahora mismo ya en ello.
And Corey Taylor's coming back too. I saved him for that sequel.
Corey Taylor también estará en la secuela.
He gets touched by if you haven't seen the film, he gets touched by this black sludge. So in the sequel, he is half crazy, half real. He goes back and forth,
Que le toca este personaje Black y que en la secuela debe estar entre dos mundos, mitad sano, mitad mad, crazy, loco.
Yeah.
Nada más.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Bueno, si queréis hacer alguna pregunta vosotros.
¿De qué das clases?
Okay, what do you teach?
I teach English literature.
Literatura inglesa.
Yeah.
In a high school or in
no,
a...
it's college. I'm a college professor.
Profesor de universidad.
Yeah. I teach also psychology.
Psicología.
And also film structure, film theory.
Y teoría del cine.
And news writing. I used to write for the paper.
Y periodismo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sí. Habla. Que se te escucha que estamos todos.
¿Qué diferencias hay a nivel de guión entre escribir algo para una web serie y un largometraje de cine?
What is the difference between writing for a web series and writing for an actual movie?
Good. It's a really good question. That's
Buena
really
pregunta.
good. Yeah. I'd never done a web series before. I'd sent the script very first. Let me back up. Way back. I used to write for 20th Century Fox movies, and my producing partner says the studio is going to kill you. So he says, give me your next script, and I will make sure it gets made by people that you want to work with, because they were just destroying everything I was writing, destroying it. As studios do. Studios ruin shit all the time. But so he gives, Mark Johnson gave it to FearNet in New York, and they read it. About 10 days later, we get a call from FearNet, and they flew out and said, okay, we want you to make this. At the time, it was 90 minutes. I was going to make a 90-minute web series, and they go, no, we're going to do this in 30 minutes. 30-minute web series, and I'd never written a web series before. Of course, you don't want to tell them that. And so I was working with Robert Hall at the time. We hired him. He and I became good friends. And in a movie, of course, you get 10, 15 minutes to have a character start to change, Yeah. And arc, as we call it, character arc. And the director's like, I go, how much time do I have for this character to change? And he goes, you got about 25 seconds. So everything is very crunched in a web series, very crunched. It's almost like you have to write the web series, I've learned, so the viewers have to read between the lines, You don't have enough time to put everything on the screen, so that's up to the viewer to make sense of it, of what's not there. Does that make sense? So that's what that. It's very hard, crunched.
Crunch like fast or like...
Very fast, yeah. Every second counts. Yeah.
Dice que nunca había hecho una webserie antes y que tenía el guión preparado. Él trabajaba para 20th Century Fox y bueno, le dijo Mark Johnson, te van a matar si les entregas ese guión, así que déjamelo, que yo lo voy a mover con gente que me asegure que pueden hacer este proyecto de la manera que tú lo pensaste. Entonces Mark Johnson les dio el guión. Who did Mark Johnson gave the screen to? Were the guys, the production company that made the web series?
FearNet, yeah.
Es una página, era una especie de canal online en la que se emitían series, programas de entrevistas, todo relacionado con el género de terror.
Okay, so they were the ones that bought your screen.
Yeah, FearNet is owned by Sony, Lionsgate, and Comcast.
Lionsgate.
Huh? It was bought by Chiller, which is they're going to show the film next month. Universal, yeah. I'm good friends with Chiller now. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Bueno, pues Mark Johnson les dio el guión a estos chicos de FearNet y bueno, estos chicos le llamaron y le dijeron que sí, que lo hacían. Y bueno, que iba a ser una serie de 30 minutes de web series.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
30 minutos. Y bueno, él, como tampoco había dicho nunca eso, no había trabajado para web series y trabajaba también en aquel momento con Robert Hall, el director, pues haciendo el proyecto pensaron, bueno, pues en una película tienes por lo menos 10-15 minutos para que el arco del personaje y demás, eso, vamos, casi como poco. Y dijeron, en una web serie, ¿cuánto tiempo tiene el personaje para ese arco, para cambiar? 25 segundos. Y dice que nada, que es todo muy, muy rápido. Entonces, que en una web serie no se puede mostrar todo, que el público tiene que leer entre líneas, que cada cosa que se muestra cuenta, pero que no da tiempo a contarlo todo y el público tiene que también construir un poco el relato.
Una pregunta así rápida. ¿Qué presupuesto manejabais para esta web serie?
What was the budget you had for the web series?
It was $350,000 for 30 minutes.
350,000.
Yeah, K.
$35,000.
Yeah. And every cent went on the screen. I barely took any money from me, like nothing hardly. We just practically worked for free because it was the special effects. I mean, you'll see. It's FearNet said it was the most watched horror web series in history. So, Robert, we couldn't pay anybody hardly. All the actors, they practically work for free. So.
Dice que el equipo trabajó gratis, $35.000 simplemente para poner en marcha el proyecto, para hacerlo, vamos, para la producción de la serie. Que Fearnet les dijo que era la serie más vista, la webserie de horror más vista de la historia, pero que allí, bueno, los actores y demás y el equipo pues que no cobraron, vaya.
Para que os hagáis una idea, $35.000 viene a ser casi el presupuesto de algunos cortos que se están rodando ahora mismo en España, o sea... ¿350?
350 or 35?
No, 350,000.
350,000, 350.000.
350. Uy, uy, uy. Bueno, hay cortos de 100 y pico también por ahí.
1.8 million for the movie. 1.8, 1.800.000. Sí, claro, la cosa cambia mucho. Hombre, de 350.000 ya es otra cosa, no son 35.000.
Me extrañó que en la película el asesino de los sueños, de Shooter, que no estuviera interpretado por Nick Príncipe, que suele ser el asesino predilecto de Robert Hall, ¿no? Sale en Life to Rise, en muchas películas modernas de asesino. ¿Se le pasó por la cabeza alguna vez ponerlo como actor para el asesino antes de la producción?
¿Cómo es el nombre del actor?
Nick Príncipe.
Nick Príncipe. He says that it was strange for him that Nick Príncipe, which worked with Robert Hall in other projects, wasn't the killer, the dreams killer, the shatter. ¿El shatter? ¿Lo llamaste? Yeah, like the dreams killer, the shatter. Do you know who am I talking about in the film? A guy with guns in the bar.
With the machine guns.
Oh,
with
the movie,
in
yeah.
the movie, yeah,
That
in the
was,
movie.
what's your question?
That-
Thomas Dekker?
But Nick Príncipe, apparently, the actor worked with Robert Hall in other projects
Oh, yes,
before,
that's right.
and he was wondering if Robert Hall thought about hiring him for the film or.
Oh, he did. Yeah. He hired Thomas Dekker for that. Yeah, we kind of wrote the role for Tommy.
For Tommy, but Tommy is the guy that does the
Yes.
the role.
Yes.
But Nick Príncipe, do you know?
Principe.
Principe.
Good friend of mine.
All right.
Yeah,
so
he played Chrome Skull. Yeah.
Cram School in the film, en la película.
Yeah.
Sí.
Yeah, he also scared me, when I was started doing the web series, because he's a good friend of Rob Hall's as well. He's very tall, and he scared me because I know him as Chrome Skull. I thought he was going to kill me or something. He's very intimidating, but he's a very nice person.
Dice que es su amigo y que es muy alto y es sí que le atemoriza, pero sí, que intimida, pero que eso, que es buen amigo suyo. But he was wondering if you thought about this guy, Príncipe, for the role of the shatter.
Of the what?
Of the shatter of the.
Oh, the shooter. I'm sorry.
The shooter.
Yeah.
Oh, the shooter. Okay.
We couldn't use Nick for the shooter because he's not so much of an actor,
Right.
I mean, he couldn't carry that role all the way.
Okay.
He's more of a stunt person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dice que no pensaron en él porque le parecía que quizá no es un actor per se, entonces que no iba a poder llevar a cabo ese rol, sino que es más, bueno, pues un stunt actor, especialista, y que bueno, que realmente no pensaron en él para ese rol.
Robert Hall used to give me a hard time because I know Nick. He and I are good friends, now, of course, after working together. But Rob Hall would threaten me, go, yeah, Nick's going to kill you if you don't hurry up and finish this revision. He'll come over and kill you. So, yeah.
He will kill you
if I don't finish that script faster.
Dice que Robert Hall le solía meter miedo con que Nick, Príncipe, le mataría si no terminaba rápido el guión.
Very nice guy, though. Yeah.
Que es un buen tío, de todos modos.
Have you all seen Chrome Skull on Laid to Rest and then Chrome Skull?
Que si habéis visto Chrome Skull.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Watch both. He doesn't say much in the movie, does he? Doesn't say much
Dice
at
que
all.
no dice mucho en la peli, no debe hablar mucho el carácter.
But he does talk a lot, actually.
Pero que como persona que sí que habla mucho.
He has a lot of tattoos all the way up and down his arms. Yeah.
Tiene un montón de tatús y eso. Even more scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
¿Alguna pregunta más?
¿Cómo se le ocurrió el concepto, para no decirlo, para no destriparlo, el concepto del personaje que está detrás de los miedos de los otros personajes?
Okay. How did you become with the role of this character that goes behind the fears of the other characters?
Are you talking about Black? Yeah. Oh yeah. Black. Well, he's fear incarnate. You know, that's what that character is. Black is fear incarnate, corporeal, fear corporeal. Originally, when I thought of the idea, I thought of Black because there's the boogeyman. Fear takes many forms in all movies, right? You have Freddy Krueger, boogeyman, Jason, boogeyman. I wanted the boogeyman of boogeyman. I wanted something where it started. I wanted the origin of all horror would be fear. The origin of all of us, fear. Fear is the oldest emotion. I think it helps us survive. We couldn't survive without it. So I wanted to make a physical form of fear, right? And you can't give it a name. I gave it a name originally, and Rob and I got in a big argument over it. And he's right. I couldn't call it that name because people would have been laughing. The original name of Black was Mike Fright.
Mike Fright.
Yeah, and Robert's like, people are going to laugh at that thing. You can't call it Mike Fright. I go, no, that's a good name. No, we're calling it Black. It's very simple, Black. Fear is very, you have to give it something simple, something, what's the word I'm looking for? The essence name. So Black was born, and, the fear chamber sprung a leak. It has, the sludge allowed for fear to creep into our world. A little sidebar note about the creation of how we built it. We had three actually. Rob Hall is of special effects. Oh yes, sorry.
Thank you. Pues dice que querían encarnar el miedo, que pensaban en eso, en un personaje que encarnase el miedo. Y pensaron en eso, que quería hacer como el origen del mal. Boogeyman,
sí.
Quería el Boogeyman de Boogeyman. Y pensaban en llamarlo Mike Fright,
sí.
Mike Fright, pero Robert dijo, no puede ser, ese nombre no asusta, no es la esencia. Y pensaron pues eso, en algo simple, en algo que captase la esencia del mal y lo dejaron en Black. Así que eso, con la intención de encarnar el propio mal, de hacerlo palpable, visible en físico, pues surgió este personaje. Iba a contar una historia paralela sobre
La cámara del miedo.
Sobre la cámara del miedo, the chamber of the fear. Okay.
Oh, what?
The fear chamber.
Oh, fear chamber, yeah. Uh-huh. We talk about the fear chamber?
Yeah, you
I create, yeah.
The story you had about the creation of Black and stuff. You were about to tell us a side story.
Oh yeah, side story, and then I'll talk about fear chamber as well. All these great stories. So much fun making this. It took a lot of time. I could also say that I'll get to this story, and then one more quick story. We approached Robert Kurtzman, Bob Kurtzman, special effects guru, genius, and he agreed to do the film. But Bob Kurtzman's, he's prosthetics. He specializes in transforming physical people into something else. We didn't know how to build Black necessarily. Even though we had $1.8 million, it's not very much money for this. We were really ambitious for this movie. Everyone was really nervous. Everyone. because Robert Hall and I, very ambitious, Robert more ambitious than me. And I used to say to him, how are we going to create this thing? We have $1.8 million, barely enough money to make a simple film as it is. The actors, you know, everybody's got to pay people. Nobody's going to work for free. And I could tell Robert was a little nervous about it. So he was driving in Los Angeles, and he happened to go to this gas station. I mean, I was at his... Am I talking too fast?
No, I think I'm all right.
He and I were talking at his studio, right? Special effects studio. And, you know, because Robert Hall did The Crazies, you know, he did a lot of films. And he bumped into, at the gas station, when he was getting gas, he bumped into Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson did Predator, created Predator, and he also did The Abyss. And he'd been missing for about 8 years, like gone, MIA, missing. And it turns out he'd been living in Costa Rica because he got fired. He did Where the Wild Things Are, the creatures, I mean the beasts, but they fired him from it, and he went to Costa Rica with his girlfriend. 8 years, nobody had seen him, and he happened to just be back in town for like maybe a month. And Robert, they're good friends. He bumped into him at the gas station, filling station, and Robert goes, "We need somebody to design this creature. Just ask him. Yeah, help us build this creature, Black." And Steve goes, "What the hell? I'm not working." You know, Steve Johnson's like you pay that guy $1 million to design a creature. People pay him millions to do Predator, and he goes, "What the hell?" So, you know, we flew him to Ohio with us. Literally the next day he was on the plane with us. It's just bumming into the gas station. And he asked us, you know, on the plane, literally, we haven't had the creature done yet almost. It wasn't even done. And we were starting production. You know, like literally we had 2 weeks to build this thing. And Steve Johnson now, of course, genius, amazing. Steve Johnson's amazing. And he goes, "So, you know, who's going to write me this? You know, I need like $100,000, $200,000 should do this." And he goes, "How much money do you have for this creature?" And we said about $17,000. And his jaw just went like this. He's like, "What did I get myself into?" You know. So he built this creature out of black Ziploc bags, big garbage bags. He built a creature out of that. And, you know, in the hands of a genius, he had this heat gun, and he sculpted these black plastic bags into a costume, right? And he created these small holes in the plastic bags, and we had one girl, all dressed in green screen girl, following behind the creature, the black creature, and it would inflate this thing. It would go, the creature, the plastic bags would be going this way, like undulating. And we had 17 people behind the vacuum, creeping along on the floor, blowing into it with straws, you know, tubes, to give these small pockets to inflate them. So at the very end of the film, when this attacking, there are 12 puppeteers lying on the ground, like crisscross on top of each other, lying flat, blowing into this creature. Yeah, to get it to move. So he did it. Steve Johnson created this thing. It kept springing holes. Steve Johnson, if I've got him on video, he gets very excited. He starts jumping around. He's walking. What the hell? It's working. He gets he's like a little boy. So yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to write a book.
Yes. No sé si me quedé mucho con el proceso del final, pero all right. Bueno, pues dice que no sabían cómo crear a este personaje de Black. Un segundo. Black, Robert. Bueno, y que eso, estaba con Robert Hall, iban conduciendo hacia LA y se pararon en una gasolinera y se encontraron con este chico, con Steve Johnson, que por lo visto ha hecho Predator He made Predator, trabajó para Predator y para Where the Wild Things Are, debió de ser la última película que hizo y después, por lo visto, le...
Desapareció durante 8
Sí.
meses en Costa Rica.
8 años, 8 months or 8 years?
8 years.
8 años, llevaba perdido desde hacía 8 años y por lo visto estaba en Costa Rica y había vuelto hacía pues unas semanas y bueno, Robert le pidió, tienes que ayudarnos, necesitamos crear un personaje y tú eres un genio, así que, y este tío dijo, pues ¿por qué no? Venga, vamos a hacerlo. Así que, bueno, tenían un par de semanas para crear al personaje y Steve les pidió $100,000, $200,000 para crear al personaje y dijeron, bueno, tenemos 17,000 y a ver lo que hacemos. Así que pensó, pues ¿en qué me he metido yo? Pero bueno, como él ha dicho que este hombre, Steve, es un genio, así que le puso al personaje bolsas de basura, hicieron agujeros en las bolsas y después le seguía una chica que hacía de pantalla de green screen y so how was the process of blowing the bags inflate? Okay. Bueno, yo no he visto la película, así que no sé muy bien cómo aparece el personaje, pero por lo visto había un montón de personas, 17 decía, siguiéndole y soplando para que las bolsas por los agujeritos se fueran hinchando y nada, y así estaban. Y luego, bueno, Robert, Steve se volvía loco diciendo, bien, funciona, lo hemos hecho funcionar. Que una de las últimas, de las últimas secuencias había 12 tíos tirados en el suelo.
Yeah, I mean, these all the puppeteers, as we call them, are
Puppeteers.
puppeteers. Even though they're blowing, yeah. And I always ask the puppeteers, I go, good job, and they're like, fuck off, because they're all tired, they're exhausted. We beat them to death. Yeah, they're trying to be special effects artists, but Steve works really hard. Steve and I are really good friends now. Steve Johnson, I talk to him every day. The second part to that, we had. Still very, even though it's 1.8 million, 1.8 million is not even the budget of a big, special effect. And this guy's huge movies, like he did mini films, He did Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, that giant walking doughboy? Yeah.
Sí, en Los Cazafantasmas.
He did Ghostbusters when he was 24.
Cuando tenía 24 años, Steve Johnson trabajó para Los Cazafantasmas.
And the original Predator, who wore the costume for the first Predator that he designed?
No.
Do you know? Van Damme.
Sí.
Jean-Claude Van Damme was in the first costume for Predator. It was a backwards costume. Yeah, Steve created it, but then they ended up firing. Yeah, people get fired all the time in Hollywood, all the time. They just you get the best of you, then they go bye-bye. That's how it is. But we didn't have... See, Steve Johnson, what makes Steve Johnson brilliant is that he takes special effects. Steve Johnson doesn't like digital. Okay? No. He says digital is fake. It looks fake. It doesn't look real. So he wanted to do something what was called the term practical. He wanted practical effects mixed, enhanced with digital. So he says, we're not doing this in digital. We couldn't afford it anyway. And so he created a practical suit. Amazing suit. It's amazing. And, it's made out of plastic bags. And we enhanced it with digital effects. We didn't have any money for the digital effects, And so Steve Johnson, I call Steve during post-production. I go, Steve, you're brilliant, but we need more effects, the digital effects. He goes, I know somebody who can do the digital effects. I go, but Steve, we have no money. He goes, don't worry, this guy is independently wealthy. He just wants a shot at making movies. He has millions of dollars of equipment in his house. He doesn't need any money. He just wants to make a movie. And so his name, he did all the digital effects for free. They're amazing. There's 240, at least 240 separate digital shots in the film. And he did them all for nothing. Yeah. So, I worked very closely with the special effects. His name is Dorian. Yeah, and I worked every day with Steve and Dorian for about 3 months, every day.
Dice que Steve Johnson no le gustaba lo digital y que prefería pues unos efectos prácticos, más bueno, reales, y que mezclaba el traje que le hizo, tenía que mezclar estos efectos más reales con los efectos digitales, pero no tenían pasta para lo digital realmente, así que hablé con Steve Johnson y le dijo, necesitamos los efectos digitales, pero no tenemos pasta, y él le dijo, no hay problema, yo conozco a alguien que nos puede dejar el dinero. So the guy that lent you the money had a lot of money of his house.
No. He didn't lend us the money. He
Put the money in the film.
No.
He
No,
made
nobody even knew who he was. He was some wealthy guy who had a bunch of gear, who had taken a lot of classes because he was rich and bored.
So he knew how to do the face. All right.
Yeah, he was rich. He just liked movies.
All right. Entonces, este chico que les hizo los efectos especiales de Gratis dice que no le conocen, que es una persona pues con mucha pasta y que sabía de efectos especiales y que los hizo de gratis. Y que estuvieron trabajando él y Steve en Dorian, was the name of the guy, y Dorian, juntos durante 3 months. You worked for 3 months.
Very closely, yeah, oh yeah.
Todo durante 3 meses.
He's incredibly fast. He cranked out 5 or 6 shots. Well, 5 or 6 draft, 5 or 6 attempts a day. It's amazing. The other producers were like, "How is he doing this so quickly?" It's crazy how fast he works.
5 or 6 shots in a digital
5 or 6 different digital special effects enhancements per day.
per day.
Yeah. It turns out he was secretly hiring people to work with him. So he was paying people, and we're getting his work for free.
Pues nada, eso, que trabajaba muy rápido, 5 o 6 efectos digitales por día y que bueno, que al final parecía que pagaba gente también para que trabajase con él y así sacaban el trabajo pues muy rápido.
Bueno, tenemos que acordar que tenemos que empezar la siguiente. Por favor, os pediría un aplauso para Aaron. Tenemos con nosotros a Aaron Drain, es el guionista de Fear Clinic, tanto de la serie de televisión como de la webserie, como de la película. Y vamos a hacer una pequeña entrevista y luego, si queréis, podéis preguntarle todo lo que queráis, ¿no? Entonces, I was talking in Spanish for Dave, and then she translates for you, ¿ok?
No worries.
Sí, no hay problema. Bueno, la primera pregunta es, ¿cómo nace Fear Clinic?
How Fear Clinic has born?
Okay, well, about 6 years ago, no, 7 years ago, I was driving, he brought Robert Englund because he produced one of Robert Englund's other films. He produced Killer Pad that Robert Englund had directed. Robert Hall knew Kane Hodder, Jason.
Yeah.
And also my ex-wife, she knew Danielle Harris. So that's how Fear Clinic was born. Okay. And of course, Robert Hall and I were good friends. So we all worked together.
Dice que la gente que trabaja, el equipo de la webserie y de la película es prácticamente el mismo, que uno de los productores, Mark Jason, el producer, fue el que consiguió a Robert Englund porque trabajó con él, produjo una película que dirigió, Killer Pad, I guess, y que el público, que los habitantes de América se convirtiesen en fóbicos. Estaba despertando fobias en la población americana y pensó, bueno, pues necesitamos una clínica para curarles, y así es como nació Fear Clinic.
Bueno, el reparto de la serie y de la película es realmente impresionante. Tenemos por un lado a Robert Englund, a Corey Feldman, tenemos a Fiona Dourif.
Also the web series. Yep, sorry, go.
Yeah. ¿Cómo juntasteis ese reparto?
How could you put together all these people for the film, the cast, and for the web series actually?
Okay, well, the cast we all worked together on. the director of the web series was also the director, Robert Hall of the movie. My producing partner, Mark Johnson.
Y que asimismo también su exmujer conocía a Daniel Hurst, que trabaja también con ellos en la serie y en la peli, y así pues, se fueron juntando unos con otros.
Bien. Y ya está. Y acerca de contar con un miembro de Slipknot en la película.
What about Slipknot guy in the film?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Corey Taylor, Slipknot frontman, Stone Sour. Robert Hall and I were looking to replace Kane Hodder because Kane Hodder, his manager, wanted too much money to be. I also teach college, so I was on the way to teach my class, and on the radio, the news had said that terrorism, was turning the American public into a nation of phobics, And so immediately I started thinking, well, we need a clinic to cure the nation, our nation, of phobics, of terror. So that's how Fear Clinic was born.
Dice que hace unos 7 años estaba conduciendo porque da clases en un instituto y de camino a las clases pues escuchó en la radio que el terrorismo estaba haciendo que